Okay, today we are going to learn about inequalities. Inequalities are similar to equations, but they are going to start encompassing your greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or greater than or less than or equal to. So we're going to just get started. So an inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares expressions and it contains the symbols less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. A solution of an inequality is a value that makes the inequality true. So that means instead of an equation where you only have one answer, you're going to have a bigger number. You're going to have possibly an infinite number of solutions, but you still have to eliminate some of them. Some solutions are not possible because they're less than or they're greater than, and they don't make the equation or the inequality true. You've probably seen these before. This is the less than symbol. So that means that this number, hopefully you're looking at my mouse, is less than this number. When you were in elementary school, they probably use like an alligator mouth or a Pac-Man or things like that to indicate this. This symbol right here means greater than or more than. So this number on this side is bigger than this side. So again, elementary might say, I'm going to eat the larger amount of cookies. So the mouth is pointed open towards the larger amount. That's why Miss Began has a hard time recognizing and saying them as less than or equal to, because I, in my head, think of a mouth. It needs to point towards the bigger number. So this one is less than or equal to. Now, how is this slightly different than this? Well, it's slightly different because it has this straight line underneath it. And that sign means it can also be equal to. So you're going to be looking for keywords like less than or equal to, at most, no more than. That means this one over here is greater than or equal to. So we're looking for keywords like greater than or equal to, at least, or no less than. So now we're going to practice writing the word sentences as inequalities. Number one, a number x, there's x, is at most. So I'm going to look up here for at most. Well, here it is. So I'm going to use that symbol, is at most. So yep, use the right symbol. At most, negative 10. So in this particular number sentence, I just filled in what it said. X is at most, and I looked for my keywords, which is at most, and I used the appropriate symbol, which is less than or equal to negative 10. Let's try the next one. 4 times a number b, so that means 4b, let's look for the keywords next, is greater than, well, that is right here, so I'm going to use that symbol. Then 4.7. Does this number sense 4b? Yep. Is greater than? Yep. Negative 4.7. Yeah. I know that if you're doing this on your computer, you might have a hard time writing. There is Cami. It might allow you to do some writing. Otherwise, just kind of make sure that you're aware of it. We're going to be able to type in some of these documents down here to show that we have mastery or understanding. Let's get this turned off. So we're going to practice. Before we practice, I need to show you how to find some of the symbols. So this one is no more than. So I will be looking for the keywords that go with no more than. So no more than is this one. It's greater than or equal to. So I've already typed my Y. Now my keyboard doesn't have the equal to sign. It has the greater than by itself, but it doesn't have the equal to. So you have to go insert, as we've done before, special characters, and I want greater than. And I look for the one that has the little line underneath. So I click that one, and I've got my symbol. Greater than or equal to, more than, and I can't see it. So let's move, negative 8. Type in the negative Great. Now that I've shown you how to find all of those, you guys are going to push pause and you are going to solve them and then correctly write them, then come back and check your answers. Oh, shit. Shoot. Okay, I have gotten the answers to these typed in, so check your own, make sure that they are right. Now we're going to try the word problem. I figured we'd try that together. You have at most, so I'm going to verify that you know what at most is a keyword. So at most, 25 games on your smartphone. Write an inequality that represents this situation. So you'll type in X and look for at most. At most is this symbol. You'll have to use that insert special character and type in less than or equal to 25. Let's see if I can get it to type in the same fashion. So close this. I'll do X, insert special characters, less than, and it's got right here, and 25. Okay, so you at this point have learned several of the things that we have to learn. Let's review that. Okay, so we are just now beginning Unit 9, and the skills that we're working on is learning about inequalities, which is the standard 7AF algebra functions 3. So the first thing that we want to make sure that we can do is I can identify common key phrases that distinguish an inequality versus an equation. So we have introduced that. Mastery, don't know, but you need to self-reflect. Do you know what to look for? And if you think you know, put a check by it. I can write a word sentence as an inequality. Well, when you pause, did you get everything correct? If you did, put a check by that. Now we're going to start learning about these other two skills. So coming back over to where we were, we're going to go to the second page, second slide, and talk about graphing an inequality. No, we're not going to use the X and the Y axis and that sort of stuff. This is just on a number line. So graphing an inequality. The graph of an inequality shows all the solutions of the inequality on a number line. You can't list an infinite amount. Like I can't do 1, 1.00, 1.002, 1.001, but on a number line you can. The difference and the unique part that you need to know is, let's see if I can erase all that, is that you show things through an open circle. That is the symbols that go like this, because they can't be equal to that number. When I say X is less than 4, less can't be 4. It has to be less than 4. So it would be reflected with an open circle like this one down here. A closed circle is used when a number is a solution. So that is the ones that look like this. And the way that I remembered it is these require less work. I don't have to fill them in because there's nothing on the bottom. These require more work. I have to fill them in. So let's look at the example. It says graph y is greater than -3. So I'm using an open circle here because it does not have the little line underneath it. So this is why that's wrong. So it's an open circle. And greater than number 3, you just start doing your head. Well, is -5 greater than number 3 or -3? No. So I don't shade that in. I'm going to shade this side in. And some tricks that teachers use, not necessarily me, but some teachers I've seen, is that see how this points this way? Most of the time, this is why I don't use it because of the keyword most of the time it reflects the way that the arrow goes. If the letter, the variable is on this side. Not good at my rights and my lefts. So now I want you guys to practice. So push pause. I want you to practice by drawing these. How do you draw a line? That's the next question. Up here, well, let me get off of this. Up here, you select your line right here. And then you lost my face, sorry. Not that that matters too much. So I guess you just look at my kid, sorry. So you draw your line. If I were drawing it here, I would draw my line like this. Okay, it's not drawing a line. Arrow, my bad. So draw your arrow. And to do the end circles, I have to find it up here. This, you need to find the one that's the open circle, and make it bigger so that it's seeable. So as you can tell, I've drawn an arrow with an open circle. I'll do that again so that you can see it. You go to right here. You're going to choose an arrow. You're going to drag. You're going to, while this is highlighted, you make it thicker and you choose your end. You can either have a solid circle. See it down here, not solid. Or you can have an open circle based on what you need. All right, so you guys go ahead and give it a try and then come back and see if you're right. So if you went to do that and you realize that there is no numbers to go along with it, I guess that's a flaw in the creation. Not necessarily my flaw, just a flaw. But I can just definitely determine if you understand whether or not to use an open or a closed circle and which way the arrow goes. So this one indicates it's a closed circle and the arrow goes to the left. This one is an open circle and the arrow goes to the right. This one is a closed circle and the arrow goes to the right. Word problem. Each day, at least 75 students buy milk from the cafeteria. Write and graph an inequality that represents the situation. We don't have a text box, so we'll have to put in the text box by clicking text box, typing it down here. And I'm going to say at least 75, and I'm going to put M, at least 75 students. So I can go back over here, check. At least would mean greater than or equal to. So I have M, insert, special characters, greater than, if you get in the box and type. Greater than. And then I need to put 75. Now, there's the answer to that, but they also want us to graph it. So again, I don't really have a number line, so I'm just going to draw my arrow. And since M is greater than 75, my arrow is a closed circle. I'm going to make it a little fatter so that I can see it. And it would go that way. There would be a 75 right here because that's where that dot would go. If you are in person, I probably can draw this for you, but using our computers, this is the way that I can assess that you understand which way the arrow will go. To go back to our success criteria, that now goes into the third question. I can determine when to use an open or closed circle when graphing an inequality. So you guys could put a check there as well if you feel like you probably got this. Thank you much.